This is a video about highest common factor. Okay. In this video, we will discuss how to compute HCF using by division. The method, it discusses two methods, and that's the one we studied in schools. Okay, let's continue. It's video number 19, part 3 of 4. I divided the video in 4 parts, and this is the third part. Let us continue from here. Let's now continue with the next section here. Let's, we already discussed HCF. We discussed how to compute that using factors. Let's continue. Now in this section we will compute HCF, highest common factor, and we will use divisions to do that. In the next section we will do it, compute HCF using by addition and by subtraction. Okay, let's compute HCF. The example I am using is from the book Figuring. Find the HCF of 4781 and 6147. Let us continue from here. This is the method we learned at school. Okay, so this is the method they teach at school. At least they did that in my school. Okay, let us see what's going on. A method is divide the larger number by smaller number. So this is the larger number here, 6147, and 4781 is smaller number. So we'll divide that, this larger number here, by this smaller number. Okay, let's continue and divide divisor of previous number by remainder from above. So first we'll divide 6147 by 4781. Next we will divide 4781 by the remainder of the first division. Okay, let's see. And then what we do? Repeat above two steps until remainder is 0. So we'll continue to do that. Okay, we'll first divide a larger number by a smaller number, then divide the divisor of previous number by remainder from above, from this one here. Okay, and then repeat above two steps until remainder is 0. Okay, last divisor is the required HCF. So we keep dividing the remainder, keep reminding the divisors by the remainder until okay, from book Figuring, HCF is of 4781 and 6147. So we would divide 6147 is larger and 4781 is smaller. So we would divide 6147 by 4781. Let's continue from here. So here's my division setup. 6147 is my dividend and 4781 is my divisor. Let's continue. So if I divide 6147 by 4781, okay, I get a 1 remainder 1366. Okay, if I subtract 4781 from here, remainder is 1366. Now we'll divide the previous divisor, which is 4781, by this remainder 1366. Let's see the setup for next step. Here is 1 remainder 1366. I divide 6147, the larger of the number, by 4781 by the smaller of the number. I get 1 remainder is 1366. For the next step, this remainder 1366 is the divisor, and this number which was divisor before is now a dividend. Okay, let's continue on next step. So next step, this is my divisor, which is remainder from first division, and this is my dividend, which was a divisor before. So the dividend remainders become the divisor in the next step, and the divisors become the dividend on the next step. So the remainder becomes the divisor for the next step, and divisor become dividend for the next step. Let's continue from here. So now we're going to divide 4781 by 1366. Okay, and I got a 3 remainder 683. Okay, okay, now if you need time to think about and work it out, please do. Okay, let's continue from here. Now divide previous divisor, which is 1366, by this new remainder, which is 683. So let's look at the setup for next step. Okay. So we have 3 remainder 683. So now this remainder here from this division 4781 by 1366, this remainder is going to be divisor for the next step, and this divisor in the previous step will become a dividend in this next division. Let's continue from here. So this is the setup. 683 remainder from this division here 4781 by 1366 is my next divisor, and the divisor here 1366 is my next dividend on the next step. Okay, let us continue. And if I divide 1366 by 683, I got 2 remainder 0. So remainder is 0. So the last divisor is my HCF. HCF is 683. Let us continue. I got 2 remainder 0 and HCF is 6. Remainder is 0. Last divisor. Let's look at another example here. HCF of these three numbers 192, 204 and 272. We would continue to use the same method, which was method using divisions. Let's continue here. And this example is also from the book of figuring. Find HCF of 192, 204 and 272. Okay, let's continue from here. We keep dividing all three digits by common, which is usually prime common factors. Product of all these common factors is HCF. So we'll divide by common factor. A factor which is common to all three of the numbers. All of the numbers in here, in this example, there are three numbers. Okay. Okay. We keep dividing all three numbers by common factors which are usually prime. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. So here is example 192, 204, 272. Okay. Do you see any common factor here? Okay. So here's the setup for division. Okay. And you see that this is number even, this is even number, first number is even, second number is even, and third number is even. That means it's divisible by 2. 2 is a factor of 192, 2 is a factor of 204, and 2 is a factor of 272, and 2 is a common factor, common of for all of these three numbers. Okay, let's find out. Continue. So if I divide 192 by 2, I get 96. Now we'll divide 204 by 2. So we already know how doubling and halving works. So this is a halving here. So 204 divided by 2 is 102, and 272 divided by 2 is 136. Okay, let's continue. Let's see. Is this number even now? Is divisible by 2? It is. Is this divisible by 2? It is. Is this divisible by 2? It is. 136, 102, and 96. They have another common factor of 2. So which is 2 is a prime number. So this is my second prime number. Okay. So 2, we go next time again we would divide by 2. Okay, let's continue. Okay. All right. So when you divide 96 by 2, what do you get? 48. If I divide 102 by 2, what do we get? I got 51. Then repeat the same for 136. What do you have? Okay, I get 68. So, okay, now let's look at here. This is an even number, and so is the 68 is even and 48 is even. So they are divisible by 2. But the middle number 51 is odd, so it's not divisible by 2. Okay. So is there any common factor here? Let's discuss that. Okay. There are no more common factors. Okay, okay, let's find out. 48 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Okay, this is 48 is 16 times 3. Okay, okay, and 51 is 3 times 17. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6. That means this number is divisible by 3, and 3 times 17. So in 48 and 51, the common factor is 3. Now let's look at 68 here. 68 is 2 times 2 times 17 is a 17 times 4, 68. So, okay. 2 is a common factor in 48 and 68. Another 2 is a common factor here. Okay, but 2 is not a factor of 3 times 17. Right? So, but 3 is a factor in the first two numbers, 48 and 51, and it's not here. So, there is no common factor here. There is no factor which is a factor of 48, 51, and 68. Okay. So, these are the two common factors we have, and our HCF is product of these two factors with 2 times 2. So, HCF is 2 times 2 and is 4. So HCF of 192, 204, 272, 192, 204, 272 is 2 times 2, 2 times 2, and which is 4. Okay, let us continue from here. Let's look at now references here. Okay. So this is a common reference we have. It's Teacher Manual, Volume 1, which is Elementary Level by Ken Williams, and you can find this book at vedicmaths.org, and PDF form is free. Okay? So you can find that Vedic Math Teacher Manual, Elementary Level, and this is by Ken Williams, and you can find it on vedicmaths.org. And if you look for PDF form, that is free. And Vedic Math by Bharati Krishna Tirthaji, that's the primary reference on Vedic Math. If there's anything related to Vedic Math, it probably is covered in Tirthaji's book. Okay? Or at least refer it then. Okay, okay. Let's continue and discover Vedic math by Ken Williams. That's the most complete, authoritative, and consistent notations, and the book is organized by sutras. This by addition and by subtraction method is in this section uh, for sutra by alternate addition and by alternate elimination and retention. Okay, so Vedic Maths for School in 3 volume by James T. Glover. Mr. Glover used these books in high school. Easy to read, very complete, and contains significant geometry which I have not covered. Okay, so I got part of that. Those my HCF from here. Okay, and some examples, and also a whole section here by addition and by subtraction from this book here. Okay? And then figuring by the method by HCF by division I got from this book figuring. We also referred some videos, and these videos are the video on fractions. We use that to see have we used HCF before. Okay, okay. And then there we use mentioned by divisibilities when we were trying to divide by 11. Okay, okay. And then multiplication by completion. This is a we discussed multiplication by sequence of 9. This video contains that. Okay. Okay, and this video also contains that multiplication by sequence of 9s. This video also contains that multiplication by sequence of 9s. When we say 142857 was 143 times 999, and those how we do multiply two numbers by sequence of 9s is contained in these two videos. Okay, let's continue, and that's all for the references.